Plausibly combining two different images is a fundamental operation in many applications, including image cloning, stitching, hole filling, and morphing. However, existing methods don't always work when the source images are too inconsistent in some way. Some image completion techniques fail in the face of inconsistent rotation and scale between source and target. Patch-based hole-filling approaches also rely on color consistency across an image, and produce poor results otherwise. Image stitching methods usually assume good alignment, and fail when inconsistent structures can't be aligned. Many image cloning approaches don't address the problem of inconsistent texture. Automatic image morphing also has trouble matching inconsistent structures. In this work, we describe a new method for inconsistent image combination. Our approach adopts patch-based image synthesis and builds on it with three key components. First, our method searches for patches over a continuous domain of translations, rotations, scales, and reflections, using the generalized patch match algorithm. This minimizes distortion and enables successful completion of very large holes in symmetric objects, without requiring manual constraints. Second, we use a gradient domain distance metric in both search and synthesis phases, improving robustness to variable lighting conditions. These two improvements can also be utilized for texture-preserving warps. And third, when blending multiple image sources, we gradually interpolate both color and textural properties by combining L2 and L0 norms on colors and gradients. This leads to more natural composites than existing gradient domain methods, and stitches different textures without the need for a guiding layer. By combining ideas from patch-based synthesis, gradient domain editing, and texture interpolation into a unified patch-based optimization framework, our unified approach not only improves results in existing applications, but can also solve more difficult problems than previous methods could handle. For example, our method successfully fills large holes using source images with variable lighting and viewpoints. Similarly, our method can stitch images together or clone contents from one to the other, even in the face of large structural or textural variations. Note that in these challenging conditions, the photomontage approach cannot connect structures properly and produces obvious boundaries between different textures. Methods have been proposed to match texture statistics across region boundaries, but these only work on stochastic textures. Our approach retains higher-level texture structure, like the cracks in the paint shown here. Our method also handles inputs with more variable texture properties. Finally, our framework can also be used for regenerative morphing. This method produced poor results when morphing between differently shaped or colored objects. In contrast, our method can automatically produce compelling morphs even under challenging conditions. In conclusion, our contributions include search over continuous transformation domain of rotations, scales, and reflections and color transforms, use of a gradient domain feature space and optimization, and a new technique for texture-preserving blending and voting.